If Jefferson gets condemned for slavery, fine, drag him. But explain to me why Hamilton gets canonized when he didn't just participate in slavery, he sat on top of the entire slave economy pyramid. Hamilton didn't marry into a family, he married into a slave empire. The Schulers are one of the largest, wealthiest, and most diversified slaveholding dynasties in early America, a conglomerate with enslaved people spread across multiple estates, mills, farms, warehouses, and political operations. And what did Hamilton do once he married in? He didn't rebel, he didn't resist, he didn't free anyone, he managed the whole empire. And here's the part that Hamilton the musical intentionally hides. The Schulers weren't just slaveholders, they were slave financiers. They were major investors in the Bank of New York, founded by Alexander Hamilton, run by Hamilton, empowered by Hamilton. And what did New York's banks do? They financed Southern slavery, full stop. They loaned money to plantation owners. They insured slave ships and human cargo. They underwrote the merchants who trafficked in slave-grown commodities. They moved the money between Southern slavery and European markets. New York City was not a bystander, it was the Wall Street of American slavery. And Hamilton wasn't on the sidelines. He was a federal architect of the system that made all of this smoother, safer, more profitable, and more deeply embedded. He didn't just run the slave empire of the Schulers. He built the national financial machinery that turbocharged slavery's rise. And as America's first treasury kingpin, he created a central bank intertwined with slavery-tainted capital, credit networks that stabilized plantation profits, and federal policies that tied government revenue to the slave economy. Jefferson owned a plantation. Hamilton fortified an entire economy built on plantations. Jefferson exploited enslaved labor. Hamilton engineered the banking infrastructure that made slavery scalable. Jefferson was a slaveholder. Hamilton was the CFO of American slavery, and Broadway turned him into an abolitionist with a rhythm section. Black scholars have been yelling this from the mountaintop. But Lin-Manuel Miranda gave Hamilton a halo, turning the man who ran a slave dynasty and built slavery's national finance system into a progressive mascot for multicultural America. If we're brave enough to stop singing and start looking, Hamilton isn't liberation. He's the blueprint for everything we're still fighting.